Hey kid, sign here for $80,000 in debt. Oh, and pick a major that'll define your entire career. You have 5 minutes. Go. What if I told you that 18-year-olds in America are signing contracts for more money than most people make in a decade, without reading them, without understanding them, and definitely without a lawyer present, and we just let this happen, like it's normal? Welcome to the student loan trap, where teenagers sign away their financial future for a piece of paper that might help them get a job. Emphasis on might. This is how America turned education into a death sentence. Let's go. Picture this. You're 17 or 18 years old. Your brain literally isn't fully developed yet. Science says your prefrontal cortex, the part that handles decision making, won't finish cooking until you're 25. But society looks at you and says, hey kid, sign here for $80,000 in debt. Oh, and pick a major that'll define your entire career. You have 5 minutes. Go. And you do it, because everyone tells you it's the only way. Your parents say you need a degree to succeed. Your teachers say college is an investment in yourself. Society says without a degree, you'll flip burgers forever. So you sign. You borrow tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you think, it's fine, I'll get a good job after graduation, I'll pay it off easy. Except that's not what happens, because here's the reality. You graduate with a mountain of debt, a degree that might be worthless, and a job market that doesn't give a damn about your bachelor's in communications. Welcome to the student loan trap, and where the American dream comes with a 6.8% interest rate and a 30-year repayment plan. Let's break down how they got us. Okay, so first, how did we get here? Let's rewind to the 1960s to 70s. College was actually affordable back then. You could work a part-time summer job and pay your tuition. Boomers love to remind us of this, by the way. I paid for college by working at the gas station. Cool story, Gary. Tuition was $400 a year. Now it's $40,000, but sure, we're just lazy. Anyway, back then, the pitch was simple. Get a degree, get a good job, live the American dream. And it worked. For a while, a college degree actually did mean something. It opened doors, companies hired you, salaries were good, life was manageable. So the message stuck: college equals success, and parents who benefited from that system told their kids, you have to go to college. But here's what nobody told you. The game changed. Starting in the 1980s to 90s, something shifted. Government funding for education got slashed. Schools started acting like businesses. Tuition costs exploded. Student loans became big business. And suddenly, that affordable path to success turned into a $1.7 trillion debt crisis. But we kept selling the same dream, even though the dream was dead. So how does the trap actually work? Imagine you're a high school senior. You've been told your entire life that college is the only path. You apply. You get accepted. Then comes the financial aid package. They send you a letter that says, congratulations, here's your aid package. And you're like, great aid, that means help, right? Wrong. Most of that aid is loans, not grants, not scholarships, debt. But the language is deliberately confusing. They call them federal direct loans, unsubsidized loans, parent plus loans. None of that sounds like you're about to owe $60,000 that you'll be paying off until you're 50. And here's the evil genius part. They make it so easy to borrow. No credit check, no income verification, no collateral, just sign here. You're 18, you don't own anything, you've never had a real job. But sure, here's $100,000. Trust me, bro, you'll pay it back. It's like handing a teenager the keys to a Ferrari and saying, figure it out. Also, if you crash, you owe us forever. Oh, and here's the really fun part. Student loans are one of the only debts you can't escape. Can't discharge them in bankruptcy, can't negotiate them away, can't run from them. They'll garnish your wages, take your tax refunds, ruin your credit. You signed a deal with the devil, and the devil has lawyers. But okay, at least you're getting a valuable education, right? Right? Here's the thing about modern college. Half your classes are general education requirements that have nothing to do with your major. You want to study engineering? Cool, but first take Poetry 101, Intro to Sociology, and the history of underwater basket weaving. Why? Because the school needs to justify employing all those professors, and you need to pay for all those credits. It's padding, it's filler, it's a scam. And then there's the actual education quality. You're paying $50,000 a year for lectures you could watch on YouTube for free, textbooks that cost $300 and get updated every year so you can't buy used, even though nothing changed except the page numbers. Professors who don't actually teach, they have TAs do it. Career services that send you generic Indeed job links. You're not paying for education, you're paying for access to an alumni network, networking, a brand name on your resume, 4 years to figure yourself out, the college experience, partying, which, fine, those things have value. But are they worth $100,000 in debt? Are they worth the next 20 years of your life? Spoiler, probably not. Okay, but here's the ultimate promise, right? Get a degree, get a good job. That's the deal. You go into debt now, but you'll make it back with your high-paying career. Except, LOL. Here's what actually happens when you graduate. Expectation, you walk across that stage, diploma in hand, ready to conquer the world. Companies are lining up to hire you. Starting salary, $70,000. Benefits, 401k. Corner office by 30. Reality, you apply to 200 jobs, you get 5 interviews, you land an entry-level position that requires 3 to 5 years of experience. How? And pays $40,000 in a city where rent is $1,800 per month. Oh, and it's a contract position. No benefits, no job security, and your boss is 23 and got the job because his dad knows someone. Cool, cool, cool. Meanwhile, your loan payments start 6 months after graduation. You owe $800 per month for 10 years, minimum. But don't worry, you can always do income-driven repayment where you pay less monthly. But stretch the loan out for 25 years and watch the interest compound into infinity. You'll pay back double what you borrowed, maybe triple, all for a degree that got you a job you could have gotten with a YouTube tutorial and a decent portfolio. So if students are drowning in debt and degrees are becoming worthless, who's actually winning here? Great question. Let's follow the money. The banks. Student loans are a $1.7 trillion industry. Banks and loan servicers make billions in interest. And since you can't discharge the debt, it's literally risk-free for them. They always get paid. The colleges. Tuition keeps rising because schools know students will just borrow more. Why lower prices when the government keeps handing out loans? Administrative bloat, fancy dorms, climbing walls, lazy rivers, all funded by your debt. The government, they profit too. Federal student loans generate interest revenue, and when loans default, they garnish wages and tax refunds. Either way, they win. The textbook companies. $300 for a book you'll use once. New edition every year. Can't resell it. Scam upon scam upon scam. But you're just trying to survive. You were told education was the path to success. Instead, you got a lifetime of debt and a job that doesn't pay enough to escape it. The system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed, to extract maximum wealth from young people before they're old enough to understand what's happening. So what do we do? Well, the obvious answer is forgive the debt, wipe it out, start fresh. But every time this comes up, people lose their minds. I paid off my loans. Why should they get forgiveness? Okay, cool. You also used to be able to buy a house for $30,000 and pay for college with a part-time job. Times have changed, Gerald. Why should taxpayers pay for someone's gender studies degree? First, most people aren't studying gender studies. They're studying nursing, teaching, engineering, job society needs. Second, we bail out banks and corporations constantly. We can bail out students, but here's the thing. Loan forgiveness is a band-aid. The real problem is the system itself. College costs too much, loans are too easy to get, degrees are becoming less valuable, entry-level jobs don't pay enough. We need tuition caps or free public college, better financial literacy education so kids understand what they're signing, alternatives to college that are actually respected, trade schools, apprenticeships, certifications, employers to stop requiring degrees for jobs that don't need them, but none of that will happen because too many people profit from the current system, so here we are, stuck. So what's the moral of the story? The student loan trap is real, and most people don't realize they're in it until it's too late. You were 18. You were told this was the only way. You signed a contract you didn't understand for a future you couldn't predict, and now you're paying for it. Literally, does this mean you shouldn't go to college? Not necessarily, but it does mean do the math before you borrow. Consider cheaper options: community college, in-state schools, scholarships. Pick a major with actual job prospects. Philosophy majors. Understand what you're signing. Don't borrow more than your expected first-year salary. The system is rigged, but you can still play smart, and if you're already trapped, you're not alone. 45 million Americans are in the same boat. The trap was set, you walked into it, but that doesn't mean you deserved it. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button. If you're drowning in student loans, drop your debt amount in the comments. Let's suffer together. And remember, the only way out is through. Or, fleeing the country. I hear Europe has free college. Peace.